second half of the first map. They were dreadful as well, lost 13-2. Then they go and win themselves the map with nearly every single round in a row, and then they win the next one as well and go through to the sort of WSG finals in China. So it, like, the way they play, a lot of it doesn't make sense, and we haven't really highlighted, we've highlighted a lot of individuals for EnVy, and well, I think Dust was saying about how he thinks JW Schneider. I'm actually looking more towards Flusher because he has been the one player that was very, very good. He was pretty damn consistent as well in his performance. It didn't show too well at WSG, but when they started winning, Flusher came out of his shell and just started, well, basically doing Flusher things.
Yeah, and that's something you kind of take away from it, is the ability to do those Flusher things. But it's going to be Kenny going aggressive early on to find 2 frags, going to be finding the third as well. And what an amazing start here for EnVyUs. It's gone from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. As Kenny, he finds 3 straight off the back, and then Happy and Six are both there to reinforce that. They take down all 5 members of GODSENT, literally in the space of, I would say, 3 to 4 seconds there, not even that, and take the first round on the board. They don't manage to lose a single player on the side of EnVyUs, so a very, very good first round. I don't even think many of them got tagged.
Well, yeah, I feel like the GODSENT guys had to know that that was coming. That's one of the most common strategies at the moment on cash pistol rounds. You have a retake setup going onto the A site and you push aggressively onto B, but they didn't seem ready for it. Kenny was so quick at hitting the headshots that maybe they didn't have a chance, and while the support play was there, they sent a few players in that direction, so you can't really say that there was anything wrong with that. At least so far it's been a trade. Sixer will actually avenge himself and trade out his own frag, but there's Pronex to find another one. MBK is seemingly the cleanup crew at the moment, just making sure that they don't have any chance of winning this round, but it is still Crims, and I think the word clutch and Crims always seem to go together pretty well. Yeah,
and he does have the Deagle as well. The high caliber handgun is something to really kind of be revered here on the side of GODSENT. Does find one, but that's going to be it as MBK, like you say, being that cleanup crew, finds a 4th frag into that round. Takes down Crims in mid with the FAMAS, of course, coming out of their superior range with the rifle. Going to be allowed to pick up the 2nd round on the board for EnVyUs, and there's a little replay of just MBK ruining the lives of GODSENT.
Well, it was actually the first player he came across that put him down to 14 HP, so none of the rest even hit him. So a little bit lucky there, but it also takes some positional awareness, so won't take anything away from him. Of course, now it is a pretty much straight eco. Apex just about gets away with his life and has to be careful with the remaining pushing players, and Schneider will be able to get a nice cheeky little 5-7 and an extra $300.
Yeah, the thing that does kind of strike me here is EnVyUs still opting to go very aggressive, just trying to shut GODSENT down before GODSENT even get a chance to kind of make it out of their spawn almost.
A power play.
Yeah, and well, now it's going to be JW once again, just kind of sitting over here towards the towards Squeak kind of area with his Glock out, something of course that he is renowned for doing.
He wants to rock out.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 1 versus 4. Doesn't really have the most ideal gun, and well, with Happy being that aggressively pushed up in towards main, it isn't going to bode well for him. He's going to get taken down, and EnVyUs, they pick up the first 3 rounds. That's the pistol and the 2 conversions on the back of it. Now in round number 4, GODSENT finally given the chance to buy on up. We're going to be seeing rifles on rifles into round number 4.
Yeah, importantly as well, AWP on Kenny. So that's always going to have a massive impact. I think they basically go well together. Impact, Kenny, or 3 words that pretty much just sit in the same sentence quite often. We'll currently be playing a fairly aggressive angle onto B, while the rest of the T players are just making an aggressive push already. Nice dunk. We'll take JW low after he's tanked initially. Happy going down as well. Will it be MBK lost first? Apex with the SMG, and Flusher, well, he is starting pretty strong. 2 entry kills already onto the A site. The rotation of Kenny over towards Carr will give an avenue to fight, but it's Flusher again. 3rd kill for him in the round, and well, already been mentioning him before, want him to step up, and this is a pretty big start for the man.
Yeah, Six able to come through, finds 1 frag, does take down Flusher in the process, and Kenny as well, finding 1 under Schneider. Now Bomb is dropped in a very bad position right now for Crims. He's got to try and find 2 frags as well as hop his way up on top of the container on the A site to try and grab that. Now the issue is Kenny and Sixer, they're fully aware of the positioning of the bomb right now, and as a result they're just biding their time with 50 seconds left. Going to be a tall order, but Crims is able to find 1 out on a Sixer, tries to spray through on a Kenny as well. They do have good intel as to where he is, and well, Kenny over towards the truck, biding his time, keeping an eye on that bomb. Literally just scoped in on it actually, not watching anywhere else, just ready to put a stop to Crims if he tries to make his way up there anytime soon.
Yeah, Crimzo, he's someone you want in this position. He's someone who can find these kills. Kenny, well, he's going to be spotted out, so now Crims knows where he's playing towards. The time is starting to tick a little bit low, 25 seconds left on the clock. Now the chance of him getting the bomb is pretty slim, so he's just going to go for the shot, and there you go, Crims. Clutches it out, helps out the Flusher, entry kills, and finishes off the round. So close, but they will actually take it. And now you look towards the CT economy, they're going to be buying back up. Of course, Apex only had an SMG, so they were going for a bit of a bonus in that round. The only problem is it looks like MBK and Sixer are going to have to skimp in this round. So rather than having sort of one good buy, they're going for two slightly sketchy buys.
Yeah, I mean, you have got the 2 M4s to try and play around with, as well as the AWP on the back of Kenny, which is something you can't discount. MBK being on the Deagle might not be the worst thing ever. He has proven to be fairly decent with it. And I mean, on the side of GODSENT, you got the 2 UMPs to kind of match up with what EnVyUs have as well. So it's not terrible here, for the CT side. Apex will be playing aggressively towards mid. Does damage out to JW.
Oh,
Actually finds that frag through the smoke, takes him down. That's going to be the man advantage very early on, going the way of EnVyUs. Well, you can already see GODSENT, they've lost a lot of mid presence here. They are going to have to rotate on Schneider, and well, he's not being able to get the refrag as the smokes are down. Mid control being heavily emphasized by EnVyUs currently. 3 players here with 2 on highway for the rotates in between the A site. Then you also have Apex playing over towards the vent. So wherever they go, they should be able to fast rotate into both A and B. EnVyUs with a very strong mid hold. Flusher does try to make something happen, but isn't able to find a frag on the back of it. Does get boosted up though, and now trying to make his way down in towards mid, while the rest of GODSENT head over towards that B site.
Yeah, they are going to have a couple of players meeting them. Now, one of them is only with an SMG, so it's going to be a flash out, and while Schneider's going to pick up Sixer. It's info at least for the CT side with only 40 seconds left. However, the T's, well, they're getting quite a bit of map control now. They have taken over mid, and there isn't really much of a response. Kenny will be over towards the A site, so should have a pretty decent rotation in order to actually stop this push. But Flusher, he's going to get all the way through Z, catches Happy in the meantime, and this gives them even more map control to actually split towards B site. Crims, nice entry onto the side. This leaves just Apex left, and, well, Crims has got both once again. Kenny, there's nothing he can do here. He can't try and take this one back. He's got no utility, no nades, and no kit, so he might as well just fall back.
Yeah, Apex completed the transition from entry frag to entry frag there as he gets taken down in towards the B site. He was all that stood between it and the wrath of the Swedes. Sadly, as he falls, Kenny being literally miles away over towards the A site with the AWP in hand is just going to have to fall back and try to save GODSENT. Their economy isn't looking too strong, but that doesn't mean they can't go on the hunt. They do get the $800 plant bonus. And, you know, should have enough to buy on the back of JW as well. So, I mean, if they lose one player going for the hunt, it's not going to be the end of the world, because EnVyUs are going to be coming off a hell of a lot worse if Kenny does go down. But any player he can find is going to be good. Vanish finds one out of Flusher, but is going to get traded out by Pronax. And, well, that's going to be all out the hands of EnVyUs, and they managed to carry it over as well, meaning JW is going to have his weapon of choice.
Yeah, so at least that's something. The rest of the team, not so much. They're going to be struggling with what they actually have into this round. Of course, they spent everything in already, were skimping, and, well, there's going to be nothing. It's the AWP onto JW, and, oh, there we go.
Yeah, over towards B. Schneider does find the first. They take down MBK. Going to be looking for a second. Finds Sixer, but is going to get traded out as Kenny does find it. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of GODSENT. Was hoping Schneider was going to be able to go huge there, but does get taken out. And now, over towards this B site, you've still got the presence of, I believe that's Crims, trying to find some hurt. Does take down Apex with that nade. EnVyUs still very committed in towards this B play, though. Crims is all that really stands between them, and being able to grab a little bit more presence. They do push up and grab the AK as well on the back of Kenny. I hope he's going to be looking to try and save that into this round, as, you know what, with 22 HP between them, it's not going to be looking too ideal for the retake currently.
Oh, yeah, I think they'd have to be nuts to think that they could pull off a retake in this scenario. It's only one AK, and really their economy isn't going to be too great. Of course, a couple of round loss bonus will give them 2,400, which should allow Kenny to get the AWP in the next round. Now, in terms of the rest of the team, they will have rifles on the board, and if they drop their head armor as well, it should enable them to get some nades, especially with the drop of the AK coming out from Kenny. So, definitely something to play with. It does look like JW wants to go on the hunt in this round, and I can sort of see why. The T's aren't doing too bad in economy themselves. They managed to save quite a few in the last round and even get themselves that AWP.
Yeah, he is going to be trying to find what he can, but sadly it's not going to mode anything, as EnVyUs they do manage to escape with an AK intact on the back of Kenny. It's going to leave them in a stance where they can afford to buy up quite favorably into this round as well. Kenny, of course, can drop that over and pick up an AWP, which is exactly what we're going to be seeing. It's going to allow them to get a good bit of utility on the back of Apex. As you can see, he's going to be the player, of course, who has everything you could ask for. Sixer being a little bit kind of barren when it comes to his utility belt. It's going to be a bit of an issue, seeing as he is the support role and does kind of lack the fragging power in comparison to his teammates. But, you know, smoke and a dream. Sadly, not going to be exactly what EnVyUs were after, but can still make something happen off the back of it. Meanwhile, GODSENT looking to make their way towards this A site. We're seeing a very heavy presence here early on with JW trying to watch out in towards mid. Apex playing on highway, not going to give him the satisfaction of getting an early entry, but Smoke's heading out towards the A site to cover the approach, as it looks like Flusher tries to make his way out towards Forklift. MBK does find that headshot though, takes down the pushing GODSENT player, and as a result, no one there to trade. The Smoke's not coming in favorably. Well, saying that, Pronax actually able to find one out of Apex. It's towards the site. Crim's chiming in with one through the smoke out to MBK over on a forklift. Suddenly this A site's looking very takeable indeed. JW in mid takes down Sixer as well. Now it's Happy and Kenny S to try and hold back this push. While Kenny playing up close with the AWP is going to be tagged down low with JW, and Nade's going to be making its way out. Does find that frag. Kenny only able to get one. Now it's all on Happy, and well, it's going to be hard to do anything when he's 6 feet under.
Crims is looking on fire at the moment in this game. Just the entry kills he's getting onto the site is just ridiculous. Like the first one he gets onto Crims as well was really, really nice, hitting onto MBK, hitting the headshot over towards Forklift, and yeah, just basically helps them get into that site. Also, JW holding towards mid, takes out Sixer, and then there's no rotation. It's only the players on site, and you saw the audacious play that Kenny had to attempt to make to even give them a chance in the round. So yeah, really nice work so far from GODSENT, and well, trusty Deegs in play at the moment for Envy. This is exactly the way they like to play these sort of anti-eco rounds, and MBK, well, a phrase I like to use is he's always good for one.
Yeah, no, definitely so. And well, currently we're going to be seeing heavy mid presence coming out from GODSENT. This is what happens, of course, if EnVyUs they leave mid unchecked. Something we have noticed they've really been trying to keep the pressure on early on. We're going to be seeing, though, Kenny S finding one, and Happy in mid does take down JW, so it's actually going to be converted into a 2-on-2. Flusher trying to trade things out in towards this A site. Can't land too much damage, but does get the smoke down for the cross. Kenny finds the AWP as he did take down JW earlier in mid. And
oh, the gap. That's going to be a freebie as well. They actually have a chance to take this now. It is Flusher towards the end of the round. He's had a couple of good rounds early on, and well, looking to see if there's anybody coming in on the flank. Of course, no one has a kit. They don't really have much utility to play with either, other than one flash, and the open plant is going to make things very difficult. The best opportunity for them here is to dual peek this. They need to try and take him down instantly. Kenny, oh, actually a misspray from Flusher will give Kenny that kill, and well, are they actually going to have this? I think they may just about. Oh, it's going to be very, very close, in fact. And, well, Kenny just gets the bomb. It doesn't actually tell us how much, so maybe not quite as close as I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be exactly what they were after. They put a stop to the 4 consecutive win streak GODSENT were on. Managed to tie things up at a 4-4 scoreline. MBK, of course, finding that one in mid that we're going to be seeing a little replay of just there. And then the flank from Kenny as well, going to be coming up. Trumps does allow them to find the AWP, which ultimately was kind of the thing that saw them through to the end of that round.
He gets both.
We're going to be seeing GODSENT now back up on the buys as it goes rifle and rifle. And JW starting things off, finds Apex in towards mid. Schneider, meanwhile, trying to make his way out in towards B. Going to get tagged down low in the process. Sixer having to play the anchor role here. 3 members of GODSENT on the other side of this smoke. Little does he know, as the smoke currently obscuring any vision, any sort of information. And while GODSENT looking to fall on back, they do get tagged through the smoke. Schneider down to 40 HP. So they don't want to try making their way towards the site just yet. Instead, switching their attention in towards mid. And well, with only Apex here to try and hold this one back, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. I'm sorry, it's MBK to hold it back in mid.
Yeah, of course, saving those 2 weapons has made the Envy economy a little bit weird in a way. You've got 2 players with quite a bit of money saved up because Kenny was already trying to get himself an AWP, instead gets one for free. But then the other 3 players have next to nothing, so they really do need to get this round on the board. The GODSENT economy isn't anything ridiculous either. They have a couple of players as well, sort of on the 4,750 marker, and then everybody else as well is still pretty damn low. So it really is a big round in terms of economy. I can expect maybe a buy to come back up on the losing side next round, especially if it's the T's, as you can normally get away with a bit more. But, well, Sixer, he will drop the bomb. JW very quick to trade with the AWP, but it's Kenny on the site. He's going to be spamming away, but Flusher comes around headshot angle and finishes him off. Happy and MBK are going to be looking to get themselves back into the site and try and challenge this round. They both have kits. They don't have any utility, though, and that's going to be the bigger problem at this position to try and get back in. However, Happy with 2 headshots, just entering himself into the site. JW now down to the 1v1. Isn't the best position to have an AWP, but should give him a good angle on the bomb if MBK is going to try and go for the defuse. It seems like he will just challenge onto JW, throwing out so many nades, but just comes jumping around the corner, and of course, he gets the kill.
Yeah, that was a very nice retake there from Happy and MBK. Happy finding the first 2 frags out of the site. Ultimately, it is going to end in a 1 versus 1, and MBK just having enough time to get the defuse. Does manage to scavenge the AWP as well to take it up into the next round. Something I would like to draw attention to, which is a little bit interesting, is in round number 6, at the end of it, so, you know, as we headed into round number 8, JW had 0 frags on the board. And, you know, now we're in round number 10. And he's managed to convert that into 7. So since picking up the AWP, he's been a force to be reckoned with. Now he's going to be relegated back down onto the AK. It'll be interesting to see if he can carry this momentum forward. EnVyUs currently having the 1-round advantage and the AWP up on Kenny. He's, of course, playing in towards the B site. Might better find something early on here, but unable to. The rest of GODSENT, though, making their way over towards this A site, leaving Schneider behind to lurk over towards that B site to delay the rotates of Sixer and Kenny, who are, of course, the B side players for the time being. A bit of damage being exchanged in towards this A site back and forth. Flash is actually going to get tagged down low to 20 HP. Crim's going to be the first to fall through the door. MBK is able to find him. And as they lose their support in the form of Crims in towards Squeaky, suddenly they can't split out on towards this site with as much explosive power. So instead, going to be refocusing their attention in towards mid. Kenny trying to find what he can. Is going to get tagged down low. And mid control is going to go the way of GODSENT. They rotate Apex down highway to try and keep an eye on things. But it's looking like a B split is going to be on the cards.
This is where we look how the CT defense is actually holding up at the moment. It seems like we may have a bit of a boost coming in over towards the A site. Very little mid control as well, so they are playing this in quite an odd fashion, just trying to basically abandon mid, say, okay, you can have this, and we're just going to hold ourselves the site. Kenny has rotated back towards B to hold an aggressive angle. This should be good for at least a kill and make the push onto the B site a little bit more limited. Of course, it's Sixer actually on the site itself, but Kenny may be about to look away at the wrong time. Luckily for him, they will throw out some nades, and that will signal that the push is coming in, and they line up. Sixer, well, he'll get the other, and Kenny, well, he's pretty much ended this round in its tracks. It's just Pronax, the in-game leader, to fight versus 5, and, well, Kenny will get that 3rd kill eventually. Yeah,
he completes it for the hat-trick, finds 2 with 1. Now, you know, that was the classic 2 bullets, 3 kills Kenny S that we just saw right then, and that's exactly what EnVyUs are going to be needing.
It's the same as yesterday. It was so close to being 3.
Yeah, no, so incredibly close. He basically impales the body of the 2 GODSENT players there with 1 bullet, and ultimately going to be winning the round there on the back of GODSENT. It's going to go 6-4, 2-round advantage now going the way of the CT side as we head into round number 11. GODSENT are going to be on the back foot, having to eco deagles across the board and a PT50 up on Pronax. A little bit of armor on the side of Flusher, which does mean if they get a rifle, they can try and relay that onto him, and he has been performing currently, so it would be interesting to see. Flusher going to be the player to try and open things up with the deagle out of the A site. Finds some damage onto MBK, but is going to be falling back. Lucky enough to escape with his life. Meanwhile, in mid, Apex smoking out, trying to delay the push from JW. It's going to land a smoke in towards mid-main. Happy, meanwhile, finds 2 on towards the A site. MBK as well doing some work, takes down Flusher, and in the blink of an eye, it's all fallen under JW. 1 versus 5. Only a deagle and 26 HP to try and keep them through.
Yeah, he has quite a lot of time to try and maneuver himself to at least get a kill, but Apex is going to go pushing down mid, something that Envy are pretty happy to do in terms of map control. They're definitely taking more than they probably should be allowed to take. Some of the rounds that they've been able to pull off, especially the one with the pistol where you see Kenny get all the way around the back before the T's even have any clue that he's there. That shouldn't be happening. So GODSENT may need to work a little bit on those sort of rounds, but they do get a buyback on the board. They've got the AKs on their players and plenty of utility to play with as well, including 3 Molotovs, which are normally very important on Cash. I think clearing a lot of angles. There's many positions that need to be spotted, and Sixer, well, aggressive peek and a missed shot from Kenny. I thought that was for sure going to hit and take down Flusher. That actually gives the man advantage back over to the T side, and they've still got so much time to play with. Luckily, Apex is there, happy, holding an MBK, and while things have just swung straight back once again, it's only JW left, and I'm a little bit disappointed with how GODSENT tried to play that round. They had so much time to play with a man advantage, and they just go and run in individually.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting they send Sixer in to go aggressive and try to go for the peak. Him being, you know, the support player, actually opts to show us that he can frag as well, goes in towards A main. They lose him early on, which, you know, could have been bad, but then Apex in mid being the defining factor, finds the kill onto the lurker for the side of GODSENT, rotates back up towards A, finds a second, and ultimately just knocks that one away. GODSENT now going to be trying to make their way back up towards this A site. They leave JW in mid just with a deagle on his back. He's got the most utility. Interesting to see him not making his way in towards the A site with the rest of the team. Meanwhile, everyone else here for the side of GODSENT. 4 players trying to make their way in towards this site, hoping to find a pick. MBK is going to get tagged down low, but does return some damage onto Pronax. Molotov is going to deny the push out of Squeaky, buying more time for the rotate from EnVyUs if they feel it's necessary. You've also got a boost in Kenny S over towards the Vent, who's going to be watching out in mid. JW, of course, is going to be exposed to a couple of angles at once if he does try his luck. Schneider, though, is going to be the first one to find a frag out onto NBK on the A site.
Yeah, and Flusher again pushes into the site, finds that opening, gives them a chance. Happy the only one left, and Walt Schneider gets him too. So it seems like everything's working out at the moment in this round, at least. It's the round they have no utility in, but somehow they just hit all the shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to fall in a 6-1 versus 4. He's got a lot of work to do. And not the most time to do it in, plus JW being in mid with the AWP there, it's going to be able to find that frag anyway. It's going to go 8-5. GODSENT, they find their 5th on the board, pick one up after losing 5 consecutively, which is good, because, I mean, it's going to be a chance for them to kind of, you know, start to pick up the momentum once again, pass the torch back around, and we're now going to be seeing them buying down 4 rifles on the side of GODSENT and an AWP up on JW, something that we've seen him have a lot of success with. Since having to switch over to the rifles, he's only got 1 frag in the last 4 rounds. So now, hopefully, now that he's back on the AWP, might be seeing a change in that statistic as he looks to try and start things off in towards B.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about. Him with the AWP has been the more impactful. But again, it's Flusher finding the first kill of the round. He seems to be doing that quite a bit when they do get these T rounds. Quick trade from Apex. He's had a very good game so far. And, well, here comes Schneider already. That dunk should come in. Doesn't quite finish off Kenny, who manages to fall back. Looks for 6-2, but now he's somewhat isolated in check as Apex with a second. So the trade machine in this round, getting them back to a man advantage. And more, make it a third. Pronax goes down 2, only leaving 1 man, and that's JW with the AWP. Hasn't had much chance to make an impact just yet.
Yeah, and he's looking to try and change that. Of course, hasn't you know, had the most success just yet. Does find 1 onto Apex, but then Happy there to trade things back. Finds that frag and secures a 9th on the board for EnVyUs. GODSENT are going to be, you know, somewhat reset on some of their players, but I mean, JW's got plenty of money in the bank, $5,300. It's going to be Schneider and Pronax looking a little bit worse off. Pronax has decided to go for the firepower as opposed to the utility. JW picking up, you know, a good selection, I suppose, a little bit of a pick and mix of grenades to try and help his team out. You've got the Galil up on Crims, less than ideal, and Schneider relegated down onto a Deagle, but it's you know, it's not the worst case scenario kind of buy here for GODSENT for the last round.
Yeah, no, it could be much, much worse in terms of the economy game, but look at Envy at the moment. This is the sort of style that we used to see them do all the time, just sheer aggression, and he actually gets the player behind. He gets JW through the wall.
I don't think he's going to know what happened just then. He
wasn't aiming for him, he was aiming at Schneider.
That's just Kenny S right there. That's the Kenny S luck.
Oh,
the Kenny S magic, sorry, with the AWP. And well, it's going to be a 4-on-4 as things do get equalized out. Crims able to find 1 into Apex as well. This A site starting to just crumble. MBK bites the bullet. He's going to have to go down as well. And I keep saying as well in this round, what just happened there? That was really weird. I apologize. Now it's Kenny S and Sixer to try and retake this one. They do have the AWP up on Kenny. Makes his way up past Truck. Tries to spot out 1, but no one to be playing over towards Forklift. Meanwhile, Sixer slowly but surely making his way up through Squeaky. They do get a nice 2-pronged attack out on towards this A site. Smokes, though, denying their presence just yet. They slowly start to make their way in through. Sixer able to find 2 frags. And now it's all on Flusher and Schneider hiding in the smoke, though. Schneider isn't going to get spotted out just yet. Kenny goes for the defuse. He's going to get taken down. Now it's all Sixer and Flusher through the smoke. He doesn't need vision. He's Flusher. He takes him down anyway. And it's going to go 9-6 as GODSENT they pick up the last round of the half.
I'm still a little bit surprised by that Kenny kill. just the sheer, like, completely vicious Schneider and just kills JW instead. Like, that's just insane. And if I was JW in that situation, like, how did I even die? How do I even die from this? But it will be 9-6. Envy still going onto their T side in a favorable position, and that's always a great way to start. Of course, the pistol round can even things up, and a lot of stuff that happens on this map depends on the preference of the team. Some teams can actually pull out quite a decent amount of rounds on the CT side, so it definitely isn't over and done with. Of course, losing the pistol round can be quite a prominent factor when you're already this far, when you're losing by 3, because then if you lose a follow-up 3, you're 6 rounds down. It's not quite the same position to be in, and with Envy already winning the first, we want to see GODSENT get the second, and well, Crims will start things off in similar fashion to Kenny, gets a double headshot, and Flusher straight through smoke, wouldn't want it any other way, leaving just 2 players left. The bomb has gone down. Happy does have a bit of a flank, but now he has to find 4 players. Gets the first, looking for the second, gets that too, running low on ammo, and eventually Schneider will be there to finish him off. That will be the round going in, but the bomb does go down, so possibly in typical MV fashion, we may see some pistols come out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't say that's off the cards just yet. I want to try and keep the pressure on on GODSENT. At the same time, though,
could go for AKs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But no, we are going to be seeing just you know, they are EnVyUs, so you know, why not? Buying down into this round, going to be going armor and pistol, plenty of utility as well, because they did get that bomb plant, and well, of course, we're going to be seeing them trying to potentially try and take this one out from GODSENT's feet. And well, GODSENT, they're quite aware of how EnVyUs are. You can tell they bought up mainly rifles, with the exception of Pronax and Flusher. Pronax on the UMP, trying to farm up some bare dollars, and Flusher, meanwhile, with the Deagle, we're trying to find some hurt out onto EnVyUs. Now, they make their way towards A. They send Happy up in towards mid. Going to be boosted up once again, trying to play that late lurk in through middle when they get the bomb down. Everyone else from the side of EnVyUs, meanwhile, making their way over towards this A site. Apex is going to be the player making his way out main, but they push it out. Kenny's able to find one. Crims is there to trade things out. JW as well. Frag out to Kenny. The man advantage right now leaning the way of GODSENT. JW still alive on this site. Hasn't gone down just yet. And well, he's still creating such a problem for EnVyUs. They can't get that bomb down because he's just refusing to die. Now it's all on MBK, 1 versus 3, and JW picks that frag up, showing, you know, he can AWP, but he can also FAMAS just as well.
Yeah, and the big thing there is the pranks he get on the important factor is just what you said, that he was just being a pain by being alive. The fact that they couldn't take him down meant they couldn't get the bomb back. They weren't able to retrieve the rifle that was in the corner either, and it just basically stopped any sort of fashion coming into the round. If the bomb had come down, then you had Happy in from behind, and maybe something could have happened, but unfortunately then Happy has to try and force the issue towards Z. They were aware that he would be lurking somewhere. That is basically the most obvious thing with Envy, that Happy is always going to be somewhere where the rest of the team is not. And well, all that really means for this round is, once again, they're going to be on pistols, and the one player with Kevlar has just died.
Yeah, and you know, that it's going to be Happy in mid. Once again, they lose the lurk player early on. Now Pronax towards the Kobe back here in checkers, finds the frag on 6. So that's going to be the bomb dropped up on top of the boxes. Now it's going to be a real challenge for EnVyUs to try and reclaim this one. Schneider putting the hurt down, takes down Apex as he tries to cross in towards the site. MBK and Kenny going to be all that stand alive for EnVyUs and JW. Well, he's looking to farm some money, finds 2 frags with the MP9 as he completely ruins MBK and Kenny S. He's going to have plenty of money in the bank, as is Pronax. $7,200 on Pronax, $5,000 on JW.
Yeah, Kenny, however, will get himself that AWP. Doesn't have any armor behind it, so the nades are going to be very effective, and so will JW with the MP9. Now, of course, Pronax is going to keep himself the ump as well, so it is a bit of a bonus round for the CT side. JW looking to go very, very aggressive, and he's going to come across one, and it will be Apex with the AK, so there is potential to retrieve that. They are, in fact, just going to fall back and counter aggression. In the meantime, we'll see Pronax go towards Sixer and lose his life, so back towards a more even scenario. And in terms of buys, well, you've lost one UMP and lost one rifle. I feel like the CTs have done slightly better so far. However, it does mean that the buy is still a little bit better onto that T side. And well, it's going to be a trade. So now rifles across the board.
Yeah, bomb rotating back up towards this A site on Kenny. MBK makes his way out. Flusher, all that stands between EnVyUs and this site. Not ready to give it up just yet, though. Does take down MBK. Now it's all on Kenny. 1 versus 3. Does have an AK to try and play around with. Makes his way out relatively unseen, but they spot him and hear him out. Schneider finds the frag, and it's going to be the 10th round going the way of EnVyUs. They pick up 4 in a row on their CT side to now take the lead.
Yeah, MBK gets punished there because he doesn't check properly. He doesn't actually go all the way around the back of quad, and because of that, Flusher's able to peek at the right timing and get the frag onto him. Of course, we are looking at a sort of more standard GODSENT style, because a lot of the games they've had, Pronax actually had to be nearer the top of the board. Now he's at the bottom, but that's okay in a way, because that's the way they're built. They've got the 4 fraggers, then they've got the in-game leader sort of running things around. Now, going into this round, Schneider's taking quite an aggressive stance, but it is only pistols up against him. He's got support, but will actually fall, and now it is down to Pronax on the B side. Otherwise, the bomb will actually be making its way, and well, Six is going to grab another one. The dunk should come in, but it's not going to do too much, and this should give an opportunity to cross, but Flusher, well, the smoke is definitely his friend today, as he will get one tracing him through the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, Flush's sheer game sense is something really.
I think he sees the feet and just basically just works
and then just
out.
traces the the target through the side. Yeah, no, I mean I can't fault that. He does find both frags, knowing exactly where to be shooting, and takes them down through that smoke. Like you say, smokes are his friend today, and clearly it's working out for him brilliantly. Currently it's going to be 11-9. GODSENT having a 2-round advantage over EnVyUs. It was a very different story in the first half, but it has since been swapped around. GODSENT building a very, very strong CT side JW now has the AWP in hand as well to try and play around with. Kenny is going to be counter-AWPing. And it's looking like right now EnVy is trying to set up something over towards A. 3 players here with, I believe that's MBK left over towards mid. Sixer on the lurk over towards B.
Yeah, at the moment, looking like they're about to try and take some mid control on the T side. They haven't actually gone too aggressive just yet, but Kenny will be boosted up, this time even with some Kevlar behind it. Flusher is going to be their main opposition, and MBK is going to be lost from the peak. Kenny with an opportunity to trade, but Apex goes peeking out, and I think that's actually the bomb drop. Luckily, Sixer is there to ruin Flusher's day, and, well, that should be a... well, basically the idea that they can get the bomb back, which is definitely important. Otherwise, Flusher would have just held that down for the rest of the round. Have in the meantime got some mid-control with Kenny actually holding the cross. Now, if there's a peek here from Crims, Kenny could get an opportunity, but he has been spotted out. Molotov will go out, counter nades as well to make sure that Kenny can't get any further aggression. In the meantime as well, the push will come into the site. JW needs to do his work.
Yeah, and coming in from behind, you know, you got to watch out for the 2 GODSENT B players. Schneider is going to go down, but Pronak's still here, posing a real threat. Kenny is going to be fully aware, though, and finds the no-scope, puts it into a 1-on-2. JW is going to be pushed up aggressive, though, and does win that duel. Sadly, Kenny caught with his knife out. Is going to get taken down. It's going to go 12-9 as GODSENT. They're looking to be very strong in this CT half. 6 rounds in a row currently. EnVy still yet to find anything to go on.
So Pronax, maybe he won't see me. Maybe he won't see me. Just sort of looking into the corner, trying to avoid the flash. Either way, the GODSENT still win the round, and while that's money once again that EnVy don't have to buy, will be Deegs across the board. Now we know that they can do the damage with these weapons. Apex looking to go for a peek, but it will be JW set and waiting. Actually misses the shot and takes a bit of damage for that very reason. Happy will actually be with the team this time. Nade won't actually drop down. It's a little bit too high and bounces back instead. Apex is low, but so is JW. Peek from Crims will however give him a first frag in the round.
Yeah, EnVy is concentrating a bit of effort, looking like in towards mid, potentially now opting to drop down and make their way back up through a main. Happy in Squeaky, trying to find something, just hopping across, trying to bait out Crims so they know where he is. JW not actually landing his shots currently. Not able to find much into this. It's going to be over the peak, and just as you say, it does find one into Apex. Finds a second as well, and a Sixer. And Happy is going to fall as well. Flusher, the one to take him down.
Thought, yeah, for a second, I was like, was that just... oh.
No, I hope there was, but no, JW isn't that crazy.
Not, well, not this round.
And
Okay.
yeah, we're going to be seeing a tactical pause coming in. Not sure what side, but I can fathom it's going to be EnVyUs.
It has
So
to be EnVy.
yeah, they are going to be what, 4 rounds behind, and when we look at it, they came into this with a 3-round lead over GODSENT. Since then, they've been able to flip things around entirely. GODSENT picking up what, the last
8, if you include the last round of the half.
eight rounds in a row.
7 rounds on this half.
Yeah, so it's been a very very commendable kind of side right now from GODSENT, doing an incredible job of just taking so many consecutively. And now EnVyUs, one thing they are is a team that is quite prone to kind of getting into that tilt mentality. I think we were actually discussing this the other day, how they are quite an emotional team.
Oh, for sure.
And you know, when they're playing well, you can see they just take that and they run with it. But if they start to kind of fall onto the back foot, they start to take a favourable situation and then be thrown under the bus essentially. That's when you kind of see them start to struggle. And with the likes of Flusher performing the way he is, and JW starting to hit those shots with the AWP just coming out in top form, it is a real issue for them. I mean, another thing to look at, Sixer, he's second on the frags right now. I mean, that's something in its own right.
Entry fraggers at the moment that are very, very quiet, because we spoke about sort of Apex is obviously still the main entry fragger, and then MBK is sort of going in as that secondary role, and neither of them are really getting much love so far on this T side. I think Apex on the CT side had a few rounds which are pretty good, but now you look at him sort of sat 10 and 18, and although we talk about entry fraggers, their fragging count doesn't necessarily matter. It's whether they're getting impactful frags. It's not happening at the moment. It's the CT side that are coming out on top almost every time in the early round scenarios, and that's where you need your entry fragger to be picking up kills, because EnVy aren't having that opportunity of ever being on top and actually being able to, okay, now we have to, so we can rotate away, we can play something, we can have Happy lurking and catch out CT players on rotations. It's more just, okay, we're pushing a site, okay, well, we've lost 2 players, now we have to try and react to that. And even when Kenny gets like late round kills, he's still fighting in like a 4 versus 1 or something silly that he can try his best, but ultimately it's not going to happen.
Yeah, this round though, we're going to be seeing EnVyUs trying something a little bit different. They send 2 players in towards mid, and are going to try and exert some pressure in towards that B site. Sixer, though, is going to be going down as he bites the dust. Pronax finds the frag and starts.
It's the same again.
GODSENT off with a 1-man advantage. EnVyUs now to double back in towards mid, doubting the strategy a little bit. They do smoke it off and look to try and make their way out. Flusher has allowed it to go the way of EnVyUs for the time being. He's playing in towards highway for the fast rotate between A and mid. Now going to be trying to fall back, but it's Schneider invents to find the frag out onto Apex. He goes in for the repeat. Kenny S can't find the frag either. He's able to get it on the second time around, but still, Schneider could have wreaked some serious havoc from that position. Happy, meanwhile, lurking in towards B. It's going to be a bit of a linchpin in this round. I mean, if he can find a couple of frags on the back of this play, then this could set EnVyUs up really nicely to try and make their way out towards the A site. Or the B site, actually, alternatively, if he can take them all out. Happy finds one on a prone. Actually, W's there to frag things back in favor of GODSENT, but MPK actually being the lurk player. The linchpin finds one, looks for the second, tags Flusher down low. It's going to get taken down, and now it's all on Kenny, 1 versus 2.
Yeah, and also, the thing is, they are going to try and play this as a team. You got Crim slowly rotating back through the vent. Of course, Kenny, if he can find one of these individual picks, you would hope that he could do it, but there's Crim's peeking out. Again, a team ace at the moment. Nobody with 2 kills in that round. That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, everyone at GODSENT just pulling their weight.
Everybody gets what?
Yeah, everyone putting it. Oh, that's a good quote. But yeah, no, I mean, everyone on the side of GODSENT putting in some work. They pick up a 14th. Now they're 1 round away from match point. And EnVyUs, I mean, they're looking pretty tilted, I would say, right now. I can't say I blame them. If you were to really pin something on being, a massive throwaway, I'd say you could refer to this as a good example. They've taken the last 8 rounds and essentially, just kind of throwing them into the air, just left them to be taken by the wind. It's not been looking too great.
Yeah, and also the big problem at the moment is any aggression that the CT side are going for has resulted almost every time with them having a man advantage. And if you're always playing from a disadvantage, even if you go and then get a couple of kills, you're only bringing things back to almost being even. We saw it in that round. MBK gets around the flank, finds one, doesn't capitalize onto Flusher, and then they've lost that man advantage again. It was just still that sort of position where nothing really works out for them because they're losing so many early players. So they have slowed things down a little bit here. Sixer has got quite a bit of map position at the moment, getting all the way into checkers without really taking any damage as well. He has lowered the HP of Crims, or no, somebody has lowered the HP of Crims. The HP of Crims, he's of course on the A site, so it wasn't Sixer unless he has some incredible penetrating bullets that go through many, many walls. But he has taken some map control, and for that very reason, we see Apex and the majority of the team, of course, not happy. He likes to lurk, but Molotov thrown out. Apex will get the entry this time, so let's see if that's going to make a huge difference. Pronax finds one, but now they're starting to trade. Kenny finds another, and that one entry onto the site seems to have just opened things up this time for EnVyUs. They're able to trade effectively, and in fact, end up with a 2-man advantage going into the late round position.
Yeah, GODSENT already falling back to go and save. Crims was too far away to be effective, and well, it's going to be even harder to be effective now as Kenny S just completely annihilates him there. Jedo is able to find one out on Happy, who was going aggressive, trying to find the last remaining Swede, and well, he is going to be able to find a frag on the back of it, trying to hold on to this AWP, and the utility he's been able to get. What?
The last remaining Swede.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a film about vegetables. But yeah, no, it's going to allow EnVyUs to pick up a 10th round on the board. Now only 4 rounds behind. The issue is it too late on in the game to kind of start to find your footing, do you think?
Well, the big thing as well is there's a huge chance that the economy could just screw them. If they lose this next round, if things don't go very well, then, well, they're just going to go straight packing. And the big problem as well, you look at the economy, I think there's a couple of players with over 10K on the CT side at the moment. The rest of them are struggling a little bit, but, well, you sort of have to look towards this T side and say, okay, you've got one of the last, I think, 10 rounds, if you include the last round of the last half, and it means that they basically now have to get quite a few in a row to just stay in the game. Otherwise, match point, if it comes about, it'll probably also bring the reset of the T economy.
Yeah, and that is something that is going to be a bit of an issue. I mean, I don't think it's going to be too bad across the board, but JW find one early on in mid, takes down Happy. That's going to be the lurk player for EnVyUs, down and out for the count. They have to try and play this back with a man disadvantaged, trying to make their way out towards A now. JW's already rotated on up, so they have got the support of the Swedish AWP to try and help them out. Crim's going to be finding the first. Six is there to trade things out. But, sorry, it's Kenny to trade things out. Flusher finds one in the Molotov onto Sixer as he just burns to death. And, well, now it's MDK and Kenny S. Quickly going to become Kenny S in a 1 versus 4. As per usual, going to be the only player alive to try and make something happen. Able to find one, but Flusher's there with the USP in hand to take him down. It's going to go 10-15 as GODSENT arrive at match point. And EnVyUs, well, I mean, they've got to be upset about this one.
I think we're now seeing somewhat of what Dust was saying earlier, where they need Kenny and Apex. And we're seeing Kenny, but we're not seeing Apex. And the one round they've won was him getting the entry onto the site. So it is almost coming sort of to that point where if you don't have one of your players that is pinnacle on getting you into the sites, things just don't work out. And the CT side, it has to be said, they're doing very, very well, finding early aggression, finding early peaks, and even when they're pushed on the site, things don't seem to go well. Their JW, he's getting those all picks on the CT side, which has been very important for their early round game. And, well, Crims, he's going to be caught in the open in this round. Apex again, this time getting that entry frag. Flusher is the only one left, but the pistols seem to be working much better for EnVyUs in this scenario, leaving just 2 to fight back. Or 1.
Yeah, Flush is going to fall on Highway. Jetto's able to find 1 as a bit of a parting gift. Now looking to try and potentially try and save this orb. MBK, though, coming in from truck. He is being hunted, to say the least. ENVyUs are being hunted. He's trying to fall on back, finds 2. Maybe looking for a third, but the double peak comes in, and Apex picks up a third frag into that round, so does complete it for the hat trick. And ultimately, like you say, I think it's a very valid point. The second you see Apex picking up these, these high impact frags, even if it's only 1 on the entry, that's what sets his team up, for the round win. And that's not what we're seeing. I mean, Apex currently second to, well, he is bottom fragging on his team. 14 frags, second to last on the scoreboard as well. Only beaten out by Sixer, who is going to be sitting pretty there. But, he's the support player. He's allowed to be there. Apex, you really shouldn't be floating around there on the scoreboard. And it is sad because he's been performing so incredibly well lately. To see him fall off now in a GODSENT game, it's almost like history's repeating itself.
He was amazing on Cobble yesterday. Either way, he's going to try this time. And, well, Crims denies. He says no, and that's going to be the first kill again going the way of GODSENT. So we'll see maybe if this time EnVy can actually pick the round back up off this. They've gone for a double AWP on the CT side. Now Schneider, in the old iteration of GODSENT, was pretty much the primary AWP. Twist would pick it up on a whim, a bit like he does in Fnatic at the moment. So I've got no problem with Schneider having that AWP. Of course, he's going to be solo over towards the B side at the moment, and well, it's going to be the rest of the players who have the bombardment coming their way. Now 2 players currently over towards that sort of forward position for the CTs. Kenny no scope through the smoke. JW is gone and leaves just Crims on the site. Happy, he's playing within that smoke, and it's getting pretty low on HP. Crims looking for Sixer, and it's taking him a while, but eventually we'll get the frag. Flush has found another in the meantime, and this leaves 2. They're both in the same spot. They're both boosted up. The second they spot Kenny, they should know exactly where this is going to be. And there's Schneider. He'll find 1. They know where MBK is. There's no chance for him in this round, and that's going to be it. GODSENT taking this over the line. Crims with a massive round. He got knocked down to, what, 32 HP at the beginning? He stays on that the whole round.
Yeah, no, mate, what a performance there from... What a performance from GODSENT. And history was almost looking to repeat itself. We saw Kenny being the only player really to be coming through there. The only player fragging for his side. Apex falling off a little bit, having to try and carry his team.